Hey everybody, good morning. Looks like we got Rob and Don and Dan. Don and Svenborn and Dan, Arturo, Rosalind, Alan, Craig, Helen, Leah. Thanks y'all for being channel members, channel subscribers, channel all the things, channel supporters. Hey, Goose, not flying for once this morning. Good to see you too. Glad to have everybody. Now here's the deal. We all know Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, they've been the top companies for the last little bit, right? They've been swapping out top companies by market cap. But what's the top company by revenue? It's not one of those three. Let me know in the chat. See if anybody can guess it. I mean, if you've read the article that I found last night, you might know, but it's not one of the ones that we talk about very often. We do talk about it occasionally. What's the number one company in the US by revenue? It's not a Mag 7. Give you a hint. Anybody got a guess? Got a guess? Put it in the chat. If you're new here, you don't know how to chat, click the button, subscribe. And there we go. Brooke got it. Walmart. What is the biggest company in the US by revenue? That was the question. It's Walmart. So pulling it over here, sharing right here. Here we go. It's been the top for years. It's held the number one spot. Check this out. Here's the top 6 right there. Walmart hanging on in 2024. Amazon number 2, up from way down here. State Grid coming in number 3. I have to admit, I cannot read that for number 4. These are the top companies by revenue. Whole different list than we normally look at right here. Look at that. Apple only showing up in 2021 as the 6th. You think, wow, and this is it's a whole different view on how this works, right? Now, these companies tend to have lower margins because they got to sell a bunch of stuff to get up here, but it's kind of interesting, right? It's a different view. You can let me know what you think in the chat here. I think it's interesting. It's certainly a different way to look at the market when you look at revenue instead of, this is sales, basically. You can't fake sales. I always say that you should look at the world through a lens of sales. Pulling this one over. Here's the top 10 right here. Walmart, State Grid, Saudi Aramco. This is global right here. Top 10 global. Don't know that one. CNPC, don't know that one. Apple way down here, number 7. United Health Group, number 8. Berkshire Hathaway, number 9. And then CVS coming out number 10, even though their stock chart looks like absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Isn't that interesting? I think it's interesting. Global companies by revenue. Biggest company in the land, Walmart. Now, interestingly enough, we look over here. Infinite market cap. Nvidia, wasn't on the list. Microsoft, not on the list. Alphabet, not on the list. Amazon was on the list. Saudi Aramco, that was on the list. It's number 4. Roll on down. There's Berkshire Hathaway. That was on the list. All the way down at number 9. Walmart, number 1, but it's the 17th. It's rated 17 right here. Isn't that crazy? So market cap, it's kind of where we make some money. All these inverters showing up. Might think I've been buying some solar stuff lately. Anyway. All right. Welcome to the show. So it's just a whole different way to look at the market. I think it's just, completely different, just completely different. That other one is Sinopec, the one I didn't know what it was at all. Sinopec Group. And Walmart hanging in there, even though, it's not a Mag 7. And we can take a look at the chart. Oops. Put my fingers on the right keys. Walmart. It's been rocking and rolling this year, but it's still way behind as far as market cap goes. Opportunity, or is it just we don't care? Amazon's been rocking and rolling this year too. I have to say, Walmart's online game just not nearly as strong as Amazon's, in my personal opinion. And the customer experience, just Walmart's focused on low prices and serving a ton of communities, but the user experience is just, it's like the last place I go, I have to admit. And if you're outside the US, you don't get it, but there's a whole thing that's just people at Walmart. In fact, I have a desk calendar that's people at Walmart, and every day I'm just like, oh man. Yeah, shocked you don't even know the name of a lot of these companies. It's, and if I bring this other chart up, we can look at it right here. Here it is breaking down into the company names: Walmart, Amazon, State Grid, Saudi Aramco, Sinopec Group, China National Petroleum, that's what CNPC is, Apple, United Healthcare, Berkshire Hathaway, and CVS right there. It's just wild right there to me that I wouldn't have guessed this. I don't think I would have guessed this list at all. I certainly wouldn't have put Saudi Aramco up here and Sinopec. You know what's funny? The Saudi government just signed a deal to become the largest purchaser of heating oil from Russia. You gonna tell me they aren't going to buy that, take it home, blend it with a little bit of theirs, and resell it? Or maybe they just sell theirs for the high price, buy the Russia's for the lower price, and make the money on the spread. Yeah. It's interesting. Interesting, you might say. You can say Walmart parking lot layouts suck, but some of that's local regulations. Being a civil engineer and having to follow local regulations, sometimes has nothing to do with Walmart, has nothing to do with the engineer's best idea for traffic flow. It just, local jurisdictions say, these are the rules, this is what we want, and heck with the consumer. So it has nothing to do with Walmart. And usually Walmart doesn't even own the place where they are. They're usually long-term leasing it from somebody else. Somebody else develops it for Walmart, and so it's a whole thing. It's very complicated. Anyway, there you go. That's the top 10. Kind of surprised me. It seems that most of you are surprised also. So there we go. Dun, 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 dun. Armaco needs the local oil power to bootleg. Yeah. I mean, it's the whole game, the whole international game is interesting. And I don't think, we can say all we want to that these restrictions on Russia were an attempt to be detrimental to them, but I don't think it slowed them down at all. Honestly, not at all. So jumping into what's actually moving today, what we can look at, possibly trade, I have to be honest. The lists are short today. Absolute short. There's just not much happening. This is the last day of the first week of holiday, low volume, low committal, low, just not much happening in the markets. So all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results, but low volume in the past, holiday weeks, seems to be holding true so far this week. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. So no stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. I mean, if you trade them, there's a substantial risk of loss. All right, back to the first sentence. And if you just need somebody to tell you what to do, well, that's not what I do. I don't tell you what to do. You need to hire and consult a financial advisor that has that ability to help you out. If you just can't make your own decisions, hire somebody that has a fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your financial situation. And looking at the wrap up here this week, just not a lot happening. We had unemployment claims come in light. It's pretty good. Couldn't get that number to populate yesterday. And natural gas numbers will come out at 10:30. Could move a little bit. Natural gas already hit the target on the upside. We could extend it, but be careful. Be careful on that one. All right. Just when it gets spicy and looks like it's breaking out, everybody can get ripped. Yeah, I mean, close that. Yeah, you look at Saudi Aramco here. Oh, rolled right by it. Dun, 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 right there. Number 9, $1.85 trillion. It's not a 6.68 trillion, wherever you got that. So. It's probably 6.86 in whatever currency, SRs. Conversion factors, forex. Anyway, diving in, looking at the list here. Yes, this has got me a little concerned that we're gonna get a downdraft today. A little bit concerned. We've been grinding higher all week. We did that little pop, and we might push down just a little bit lower here. But the concern to me is this area right here, just a little bit lower. That's 618 level that we popped up through. If we get below it, it can open the door to come on down. Be careful right there. That's where it looks like we might be heading right now immediately. Now, this was a higher high. Typically, that negates, or that, says that was the end of the correction, but this looks like in the low volume environment that this is actually part of the correction, and we're getting that move down, this retrace, and now we're getting a third move down. That would put the support right in the zone right there. And if we don't hold that, it would develop us into something bigger on the downside. A little bit concerning, but when you zoom out and look at the whole move up, we did a nice move up. A little bit of retrace, potentially back to that 4-hour roadmap line, retest it before we can go higher again, maybe. And if we get below it, well, probably going down to the daily roadmap line, which is all the way down here around 56, 57 right now. 5,600, 5,700. So if this fails right here, it starts failing. Certainly if you run the low to the high right there, we get below that 618 level right in there. Probably indicative we're coming on down. So the 4-hour roadmap line, first level of support, next level of support underneath us, the 618 of that move up. And you're like, wow, that's a lot of stuff drawn on there. I can't tell where it is. So it's right here. This low, right there, that high, right there. That 618 level coming in right there. right there. 59.64 on ES. S&P, this gets a little more complicated because we don't have all the data, but close enough. Close enough for government work. Be right around 59.15. For that support, we break below that zone, probably coming down to the daily right there. So that's your warning sign if you need to set an alert in that area. Yeah, it could be as low as 5,900. Could be as high as 59.25. That zone, if we may come down and test it, see if it holds, bounce, we go higher, break down, we come down here. Simple as that. It's kind of easy. You know, the price action gets a little more clear when we have low volume. It just takes forever for it to go. So today we may drift lower slightly. It looks like the grind higher is we're probably just going to hold in this vicinity for today through the OPEX. We'll see. NQ still looking pretty good. We may need that little baby 618 retrace though to propel it higher. We might. That low, that high puts us with support right down here. We may see a little bit of flush action back down to this 21,400 area. NDX. Look at the cash index here. That low, that high. Actually, just spiked the high. Interesting. Spiked and pulled back. This could come on down. Back down to 21,250 area. Right in that zone right there. So this could retrace. It doesn't have to retrace. It could just go ripping on out. Could come down here, find support, and bounce. Russell. Nice little move up, but I'm very, very leery on this price action here. This does not look very strong, especially when you start diving down, looking into this. Look how choppy and overlapping that is. Ugh, nasty price action off of that low back there. Just a few days back. Move up, retrace, very deep. Move up, retrace, move up. It's like the momentum's like waning as we could easily break down and go lower. May not even have the strength to come up and test that 618 off the high. This was a big, nasty down off of FOMC. Something's up. Something's up. And, whoop, missed a zero. No, put the R and just US 10. This one right here, rocking and rolling. A lot of people blaming this for interest rates going higher. Look at this. There's a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential. Going to stall out here. This big 3-wave correction. Very nice. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. Almost a perfect correction. Trend is up. This is the rate that mortgages kind of follow right here. Typically. So we're seeing this having gone through a correction and kind of did a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, and we could see a outsized 5 off the top of this baby. Could put us, look at this. This is going to be scary if you've got a mortgage or you're trying to refinance or something like that, where you're going to have to move soon. Holy bananas, look at that rate. And this is the 10-year rate, not the mortgage rate. I mean, right now at 4.59, they got that baby up to 7 plus. What's it going to be if we get up here? 20? 25% mortgage? Holy bananas. That's going to freeze up the housing market, don't you think? Ooh. Can see it coming. See it coming. Isn't this wild? That low right there, this high. Let's just guess it right there. A little bit higher. Maybe we do a retrace. And then the next leg up. Something like this. Comes all the way up in this zone. 6 to 7%. Right in here. Then we retrace it. And we put that final leg right up in there. Wow, bunch of stuff kicking off here. It's in the chart. Be careful. CL. Churning, burning. It just hanging out in the zone. I was thinking we'd probably hang out here through the inauguration. That's what that kind of target is right there. We'll see what happens. GC. I have been waiting for this to come on down here. This is the ideal thing I want to see happen right now. The way they set this up, I just want to see it do a final flush, get a lower low at the minimum. Anything from here down satisfies that, and then we can bounce and go higher again. So waiting for this final flush out on gold. Bitcoin. This pattern does not give me a warm fuzzy feeling. All right, I don't usually get FOMO, but I'm sitting here like, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right decision? Did I make the right decision? It's really got me sitting here debating my trading choices to lighten up on the leverage. Move up, that retrace. Come on now. Lowest low, highest high. You see what it did. This is why. That's why it's like, I'm really like, I don't like that price action off the low, but it held right there. Just trying to mess with me like gold did. Are we about to do a bigger flush? It would look best if we just did a big flush. Nice $20,000 dip. Shake out some weak hands. Clear the board. And we can go higher. I know a lot of people long Bitcoin, long crypto, don't want to see that kind of flush happen, but typically, and during a halving run, we see a 30% flush out, and that would pretty much get us right there. Something right down here. Go higher again. Clear the board. And this could go fast too. Could happen all quickly. Could happen over the holiday. Could happen over the weekend even. Yeah, look at that big flush. One day. One day. We have to roll back just a couple years. 4 years. Look at this. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. We need one of these. This feels like what we're doing. One of those. Maybe like, well, that was before halving. Yeah, it was. Could need one of these right here. Flush right down, 30%. Nice big fat candles. I would like to see something like this. Shake out those weekends. Then we can ramp it again. That's what I'd like to see right now, just because of the weakness in the price action that we've got. And everybody's an expert at Bitcoin right now. So just remember who's kept you on track the whole way so far. I'm really uncertain, but I'm going to sit here and hold. Hold what I got long. Thinking we're going to do this flush right down in this area. Right down in here. Retest the breakouts. And then we can go higher again. That's what I want to know what I really think, but I'm sitting here debating my choices to lighten up. Yeah, nice 30% retrace. Just one quick flush, and we can bounce and go. That's what I'm kind of hoping for, banking for right there. Ether. Starting to look like you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we could get a fifth flush, and then we probably do a 3-wave correction, and then another flush. Not sure on Ether. Not sure. Not looking like a bullish setup at the moment. Now, we could just hold right here, wait for Bitcoin to finish doing its thing, and then ride or die together, and we just go higher, break out, go running up to the targets. It's possible too. Dollar index just hanging, churning right here. This could spike up to 109, but this is probably going to head back down to the roadmap line here. If we don't and test it, we could bounce for another higher high, but more than likely we're going to break on through and go down. This is looking like we completed this big correction. This big move up, retrace, move up, kind of stalled right at the 618. Looks like we could be done now after nearly 2 years of chop. NKD. Oh. It's testing the breakout. Can we do it? Can we do it? If this pushes on higher, global liquidity going up, this will probably push us on higher to 44,000. And the U.S. market will probably ride with it. Probably ride higher. I'm actually going to put a alert just above that candle wick right there. All right, so I go to the pre-market. I pull everything moving $2 or more up, put it on the gainers list, $2 or more down, put it on the decliners list. It does not get updated as the market opens. So as we see, CME giving up the pop. Heading down. Probably going to get to the roadmap line right there. Probably coming down there. Somewhere in that zone would be what I expect. It's made a nice move up off of this high to this low. Missed the fib tool. That high to that low. Look at that. 618. Boom. Resistance. And we pull back. Classic. QMCO. Quantum. Like, quantum stuff has been going crazy, but don't get sucked into people talking about this. Danger, danger. The danger lights are flashing. All right. I'm telling you. Reverse splits. These pops don't typically last very long. I mean, look at this quantum chart. What do you think? Why do you think now is all of a sudden life-changingly different for quantum computing? But Google had a big breakthrough. Yeah, and when the hype is done, guess where this is going? MYSZ. It looks like absolute dumpster fire. We got the reverse splits in here. Galore. Be careful on that one. ARQQ. Another quantum play. Be careful. Reverse splits. I'm telling you, be careful. You can lose your money. Toyota. has the opportunity, but we're still stuck in this zone right here. If we can get on up above here, it's looking better for continued rally higher. That bigger picture upside, potentially up here around 300, 400, like we talked about yesterday. If you missed that conversation, go watch that video when we're done here. AMED, medical specialty nursing services stuff, and it's below the roadmap line. And we may turn and burn lower. Don't like it. Oil, like I said, natural gas. We hit the target. And there's the gap back down. Look at that. Boom. There's probably a contract rollover. No? Doesn't hit right. Oh, yeah, that's contract rollover. Contract switch. Went from contract NGF 2025 to NGG 2025. Gap down. That was the target. $4. Watch out. That could be done. We can retrace now. FNGU declining. This looks like 1, 2, 3. We look like we may go a bit deeper on this. Back down to the breakout and retest. Come down in that zone right there. Retest that zone. Then can we bounce and go for the extension? The extension being up here quite high at 911. SAP is the wrong SAP. Need US listing. Same company, very similar chart. This has just been grinding in this channel. Sloppy channel for me. I expect it to keep grinding in the channel until we either break down or break out. And I just clicked on the banner bar up there. Awesome. That would be that's it. I mean, that's simple as that. It needs a retrace, but it's not doing it. It may not do it for a while. Cold, another natural gas thinger. That's ultra short natural gas. It's not really responding with the gap down because it's just a contract rollover. It's not an actual price move. But you got to be a little careful there. But UNG, I think it's about to suck everybody in and then rip everybody, honestly. I think the play's already done. Didn't move big. So, cold going up might be the play. Be careful out there. Playing natural gas is difficult. This has got a regular split in it. It's got a reverse split in it. It's got another reverse split in it. Which reminds me a lot of SVXY due to the way VIX kind of always comes back to a resting spot. UNG kind of always comes back to a resting spot. Creates the opportunity in cold, but the long ones like BOIL and UNG have opportunity to rip you pretty bad. So be careful playing in those. Be careful. That's kind of my big warning for natural gas. SPXL, this set up an extension 198. It's not like the highest of high probability stuff, but down here in the lower time frame setups, we kind of set up a potential to go higher. Got the close up of the 618, rechasing slightly, but that sets up that target up there. 194 to 198. And last but not least, PTIR. Careful on this one, I'm telling you. We can rip it higher, but we could also rip it 80% correction. PLTR has gone a long way up without visiting the roadmap line here. It's been August 5th. We did it one big dip, and then we were extending higher. That upside probably around 110. The downside potentially around 44 if we correct. Watch out. We don't even get anywhere near that level right there. Then we can go higher again. So watch out on 2x leverage PLTR right there. That one can rip you. Just be careful. All right. Permacautious, low volume, not a lot of stuff moving, not a lot of stuff to watch today. Be careful out there. You may lose money. It's the kind of environment that it's a little bit dangerous. A little bit dangerous. I got a bunch of TSLO coming off at 37 strike today. I sold a bunch of 37s. I sold a bunch of 56s above that. We had this spike right here, sold 56s. We had this spike right here, sold 37s. Nice. And that looks like we may retrace a little bit. Just a tad. This is a leverage chart, so we'll have to go look at actual Tesla. But this could retrace a little bit before we pop here. Looking at that chart. Tesla, the actual chart. Dun, dun, salam. Now, is that a move down, a retrace, and we get a further decline? Or it's going to hold this 618 and go popping off? I don't know. In low volume, I don't know. And it's difficult. We don't have the full participation of the market behind us right now. This is not very clean and clear price action. Set that lowest low right there. Move up. Could be 5-wave up. That 618 sitting right there at the roadmap line on the 30 minutes. So that'd be a spot to watch right there, right around 436. If we hold it and burn it, we're probably going higher. If we start getting below this 428 area, we may get some more downside, possibly down here to 402 to 408 area. Right there. I got a lot of money tied up in Tesla right now. BitX looking low. We're just chopping around with Bitcoin, and this really looks like it's one reason why I'm kind of on the sideline a little bit. I'd really like to buy right there, buy back in, find that support and go higher again right there. Didn't have any bonus trades. There was nothing worthwhile talking about right there. So, all right, and Walmart's it just keeps rocking and rolling higher. You know, we look at the financials right there. Market cap $737 billion. Price to sales. Price to sales ratio 0.98. So you got the most sales in the land, biggest revenue of anybody. Yet their price to that revenue is only 0.98. Kind of wild. Kind of wild. They have a huge COGS. And then a pretty sizable OPEX on top of that. Their income, pretty tiny compared to the revenue. Whereas when you flip it around and look at something like this, their COGS are much better looking. And their COGS and OPEX, so that makes their profit huge, and that's why people pay big money for their sales. Large margin there. You know, this baby has even kind of even better margins, really. You look at that chart. Doing really well at keeping their COGS and OPEX under control. Then we go look at this one. Look at that, even bigger margins. And why is this rocking and rolling right now? So if anything upsets this cart, you could see a very negative reaction very quickly. But their price to sales is over 30. Anything over 20 is danger land. Always has been. Come on. Apple's price to sales at 8. Microsoft's price to sales at 12. And Nvidia hanging out at 30. So that's the danger zone. 31 even. That's dangerous. Why not priced earnings? Because you can fake earnings. You can mess with the numbers for earnings. You can't fake sales. You can't. You either sold some stuff or you didn't. Simple as that. That's the revenue. That's where that chart comes from. That's why I like to talk about revenue and about sales instead of earnings, because earnings are made up. It's like the numbers are all made up, and the points don't matter. And it's like, whose line is it anyway? But sales, can't fake that stuff. You're either growing sales or you're shrinking sales. So thanks for coming, everybody. I'll be back live with you on Monday. We'll do Monday, Tuesday. I'll take New Year's Eve off in the evening. Be back with you again Thursday, Friday. And then we'll get back to normal the following week right there. So made it almost through the first holiday week. Next week, another holiday week. New Year's market holiday right there in Wednesday. Then we'll be back to normal as we can be for 2025, starting on the 6th. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again on Monday, December 30th. Holy man. We're about to wrap up 2024. Have a great day out there. Stay safe. The account you save may be your own. Bye for now.